Hi guys, and welcome back here at 1000 PS. Today it's all about the Honda CBR500R. Standing in front of me, I think she's beautiful, but is she really a great beginner's bike in the class of Supersport racing bikes? We're gonna find out for you, we're gonna let you know, so you better stay tuned. It's me again. I'm back, and I'm telling you guys what I felt when I first rode the Honda CBR500R. And I have to say, in the group of A2 class bikes, this, according to the HP, which is 48, it has the most power. And I kind of went about it with the expectation that it's going to perform that way. And I was let down a tiny bit. I wasn't completely disappointed. I still think it's a good bike. But yeah, I felt like the motor and like the power and everything, it could have been a bit more aggressive. And yeah, I also feel like the seating position, I think it's practically, the most comfortable. And it's not too sporty. Of course, it's still a super sport bike. And you still have the position of leaning a bit forward. Your head is like focused towards the front tire. And it's quite comfortable. I feel like on this bike you can do tours that are not too short. You can go for a few hours, if not days, without feeling like your back is breaking apart, which is a good thing. And I also feel like Honda doesn't let you down when it comes to the chassis and the brakes. It's not blowing me away, but it's definitely enough. I feel like you could dose it very easily. And here also the motor brake, it worked perfectly fine for me. And the gear shift, everything was easy to handle. I didn't have to familiarize myself with too many things. I feel like all the buttons and the display, you have to get used to a bit, but I feel like that's the same thing with every bike. So it's not really a negative aspect. And yeah, overall, I would say I have to get to know it a bit more, but I'm looking forward to it. I feel like there's a lot of potential, and if I get to experience the bike in different settings, then it might convince me otherwise that it's actually really damn great.
Here we have the Honda CBR500R. Well, what can be said about this bike? My first impressions, although I really love Honda, aren't the best. This bike just weighs too much. You can tell that just by looking at the specs, and it translates into the real world too. In corners, on straights, you just feel that this bike is heavier than its competition. So we're talking about an engine that supposedly has the most power, but in reality feels like it has the least. Well, that's how it is with weight and power. Otherwise, the bike is generally acceptable. It's not excellent in any area, but it's not terrible either. The clutch works great, the gears, the transmission, everything is flawless. The front brake is a bit firmer than I'd personally like, but that's okay too. The display is just normal. Really good for this category, and I didn't have any complaints about it with other bikes either. I actually think it's great. It also has traction control, so I still find it, if not the best in its category, at least one of the most beautiful. For me, that was a key factor when purchasing a bike in this category. The beauty of a motorcycle. And this red, with those typical Honda accents, for me, it's just super beautiful.
The Honda CBR500R positions itself in the A2 category with its two-cylinder engine of around 470 cubic centimeters, placing it among the larger displacements in this category. You can also feel this in its power delivery. It has good power over a fairly large range from low revs all the way up. However, I must say that while it delivers decent power, It doesn't feel as strong as some other engines in the same class, mainly because it has an incredible smoothness, something very characteristic of Honda. The engine runs very calmly with a silky smooth operation without issues. The throttle response and control of the engine are truly exceptional, making it easy to use in any situation. You can smoothly apply the throttle even in deep lean angles and manage load changes very softly, which works flawlessly. The riding position is very relaxed, slightly sport-oriented, but primarily focused on comfort. The knee angle is also relaxed, not too tight, so you can sit for longer periods without discomfort. So both the riding and seating comfort are impeccable. The electronics, which include traction control and ABS, work well. These systems are on a very high level. Also worth mentioning is that the brakes with dual discs at the front perform very well, both in terms of braking power and ABS functionality. Compared to other bikes, the differences are significant, and with the Honda, we can confidently say that we have a very efficient braking system, which allows for excellent deceleration. It even goes as far as allowing the rear wheel to slide slightly before the system reduces the braking force, which is ideal if you want a sporty ride with very short braking distances under good conditions. Regarding the chassis, it must be said that the bike, with its weight of over 190 kilograms, feels a bit sluggish in handling. It requires a bit more effort to quickly position the bike. However, the overall package remains balanced as it provides a lot of stability. It's not overly nervous, and you can easily sense where the limit is and how far you can push it. The suspension, though not adjustable, is well designed, leaning more toward comfort. It absorbs road bumps very well, giving the rider a lot of confidence. Unfortunately, as I mentioned, the suspension is not adjustable, so you have to make do with how it's set. It works well if you prefer a comfortable ride. A small downside, especially if you plan to use the bike on the track and ride fast, is the limited lean angle. The Honda comes with long chicken strips on the foot pegs from the factory, which start to touch the ground very early in corners. For our test, we removed them to see what's possible, and we found that particularly in left-hand turns where the kickstand mount is located, it touches the ground quite early, which is an issue because it's a rigid part that doesn't give. This happened to me several times, causing a momentary loss of grip on the front wheel. Despite this, both the ABS and traction control systems work well. The two-cylinder engine, while not the most powerful, does its job well. Overall, it's a very solid bike and fun to ride, whether you're aiming for sporty or comfortable use.
That's all we've got for you today, guys. We hope you liked it. We hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know if you agree with our statements, if you think she's a great beginner's bike, or if you think there's better alternatives. Let us know down in the comment section. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.